Welcome to another episode of Home Sweet Home. My name is Rod McCall.
And I'm Scott Nichols.
How's your day doing?
My day's doing good.
Okay, I guess that was really bad grammar.
That's okay.
Hey, how is your day going so far?
So far, my day is going very well.
Okay, that's
And how is
much
your day?
better. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. I find that my days are generally pretty darn good.
That's cool.
I have moments of days where, they're in the toilet. But for the most part, I try and be positive and, look at things more of a half full kind of glass instead of a half empty kind of glass. Some days I do that better than others.
I think we all do, right?
Yeah. But no, it's life has been giving me a little more positive vibes than it has the negative ones. And the negative ones, well, I don't know. Are they that bad? I mean, okay, my favorite college basketball team didn't make it to the Final Four. I mean, okay, they didn't even make it out of round number one, for crying out loud.
You knew that they weren't going to make it. So
well, that's true.
You really shouldn't have been that upset about it because you already knew that was going to be the case.
Well, okay, which is why it wasn't so bad. Not nearly as bad as when the Chiefs lost the Super Bowl.
Fortunately, you don't actually play on any of these teams. And ultimately, it doesn't really affect you very much.
Well, no, and I don't bet on the two-legged, that's for sure. So
it's kind of the way I see it. I mean, we all like to be Monday morning quarterbacks and talk about how much better everything could be, but none of us are actually like players or coaches. So I don't know why we think we're better at it than the people who've spent their whole lives doing it.
Well, and with a little bit of separation from events, you are correct. But when you are a passionate fan of certain things, well,
it does bring out the emotion. Right?
Yeah.
So.
I think we're going to have to do a podcast episode on that.
We can do that.
I'll have to work
Maybe we can get a listener to email us and talk about how they want to be on the show.
Okay. Yes, please. Yes, please.
We can phone them in.
So I read a lot. I listen a lot to podcasts. My little sister, who's been on this show a couple times, and provides a lot of feedback, got me listening to different podcasts. And so I ran across one that I thought, ooh, I really like what they're saying.
Okay. And
so then, because I listened to a little bit to the podcast, and not from my little sister, but actually, because she's the one, I went down a rabbit hole on that one. But anyway, so there was a podcast that was talking about, well, how do you start your day?
Okay.
And
are you asking me, or are you just like...
that was kind of what they were saying.
Right.
And so they interviewed a therapist. Her name is Dr. Esther Boykin.
Okay.
And she said that and she does this with her therapy clients, she said, ask yourself or begin your day with 3 basic fundamental questions.
Okay.
And as you do that, it can change how your day goes. Mm-hmm. And as I was reading through and looking into those 3 questions, it reminds me a lot of things that Sherry says to me frequently. And it's about setting expectations. Mm-hmm. If you have your expectations set at a certain level, then your happiness or lack of happiness may not be as seriously impacted. Basically, right. Lower expectations, and you will be disappointed a lot less. Mm-hmm. Because many times I get very frustrated because people don't achieve at a level I'm going, I know you can. Mm-hmm. Just because you're taking in my humble opinion, a lazy way out. And so she goes, just stop expecting people to be more than what they are, and you'll be less disappointed. So I hear what you're saying. I don't know that I entirely agree with it all the time, but it matched real well with what this Dr. Boykin was saying, and that you can set your expectations for the day by asking yourself and therefore answering these three fundamental basic questions.
Okay.
So I thought maybe we could kind of explore those three fundamental.
So what are the three questions?
Oh, I got to tell you those three?
I mean, I'm just curious.
Okay.
I'd like to know if I'm actually doing any of this. 'Cause
Okay.
I have a morning routine that I think might fit with this. And I'm curious if it's
Beyond breakfast, showering, and getting dressed?
I mean, I usually do 2 out of 3 of those things. I won't tell you which 2.
Well, I can say dressed is one of them, and I'm grateful. So thank you.
You can guess on the other 2.
All right. So, these are the 3 questions that Dr. Boykin says she pushes her clients to ask themselves each day. So question number 1, what am I grateful for today?
Okay.
Number 2, what are my main priorities for today?
Okay.
And number 3, how will I take care of myself today?
Okay. Well, those are interesting questions.
And they're very basic. They're very fundamental. But as you start your day, I think it can help because I put a little bit of thought into this, and I thought, wow, I don't know that I do these 3 exactly.
Sure.
But I wonder what impact would this have on my day if I asked myself these, what am I grateful for? What are my priorities? And how am I going to take care of myself today?
Yeah, I'm not sure I do all 3 of these either. Certainly not every day. Not all of them anyway. And I probably don't do the first one enough.
Okay, what am I grateful?
Yeah. And what's interesting about that to me is, as a history person, as you are as well, like virtually every religion that I've ever encountered has you consistently throughout the day, and certainly beginning with the beginning of the focusing on gratefulness.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's and then psychology would tell you the same thing, right? Because you want to have a positive mindset.
I will say that a lot of times at the end of the day, I'll thank God for thank you for today.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for something good that happened, or, thank you for my family. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you for my friends. And I don't know that I do it daily, but I thought, as she was saying, do this in the morning instead of the evening. What impact would that have on my day?
Or what if you did it both?
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Right. I mean, and some, there's even some religions that do it throughout the day. And, there's positive impacts from that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, having a positive mindset is we use that modern term, positive mindset.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing, right? And if you think on positive things, your mood gets better. If you think on the loss of the Chiefs and your college basketball team, you get, immediately, I just saw your face change, right? I mean, so your mood changes when you think on negatives or positives, and so clearly we want to have better feelings,
Mm-hmm.
and so gratitude and thinking on those good things that you're thankful for changes your mood.
Well, and we've said before on here about having an attitude of gratitude. I mean, I was after KU lost in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Somebody had posted on Facebook, there's a lot of schools, a lot of college basketball programs that would be lucky to have the success that KU did this year.
Sure.
So rather than look at it as, man, we got bounced in the first round, look at it as, well, they had a good season. They gave us a lot to cheer about, a lot to be happy about. So, let's have an attitude of gratitude.
Let's be honest. The Detroit Lions and the Cleveland Browns would love to have the Super Bowl record of the Cowboys. Right?
Yes.
But the Cowboys fans are all broken up about how they haven't won a Super Bowl in 30 years, right? So,
yeah.
But they're also up there with having some of the most wins of Super Bowls.
Oh,
of any team.
absolutely.
So, I mean, other teams would be very happy to have that record.
Well,
even despite the years since.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's all about perspective, right?
And that, I think, is what Dr. Boykin was saying. If you start your day with a positive perspective, like you've been saying, well, then, okay, how will that influence then how you approach your day, how you deal with the people that you come across with, either on the way to work, at work, on the way home from work, with your family, your children, and your neighbors, and all that. And I just thought, wow.
Yeah. So now I have a morning routine.
Okay.
And I probably need to add this in, right? Because it doesn't take long to just be just the fact that you woke up should be a grateful thing. But my morning routine consists of, some New York Times games.
Okay.
I do 3 in a row, and it only takes a couple of minutes. But I do Wordle, I do Connections, they're mini crossword. And I just feel like that's a cognitive thing, right? Like,
okay.
I'm getting older, so I want to be able to be sharp. And I think that, doing those, and I kind of compete with some people
okay.
On that. So it's a fun, friendly competition, right?
Okay.
And oftentimes I lose, and that's okay, right? But I did it.
Okay.
Right. I accomplished it, and it's helping me learn a great number of things. But after that, I spend an hour reading.
That's
immediately.
Yeah. My dad used to, when he'd get up, he'd read in the mornings, and he enjoyed that.
And I'm grateful for doing that. Like, to me, that's just, it's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
It's not focused on work. It's not focused on housework. It's not focused on my day. It's not any of those things. It's just, I'm reading either to learn something or to, just have some entertainment from a novel. And I'm just reading for an hour.
Okay.
And so I'm actually grateful for that. I'm grateful for that time.
Sure.
I just don't express it.
Well, maybe. It's your time.
It is. And my wife does the same thing. We live in a small apartment, so she goes to another room.
Okay.
And we kind of separate that way. And so she gets to have her time quiet, and I have mine, and she has her space that she likes, and I have mine. It's just a very individual thing. And I've been doing this for a little over a year. And that has changed my morning.
And how has that changed the rest of your day?
It's been incredible. There's more to it, and she talks about more, because there's that next step, right, of focusing on your priorities.
Mm-hmm.
What are your priorities? And setting some kind of clear goals for the day, of course, is going to help you be positive at the end to say, I'm grateful that I can accomplish these things. And maybe you have 8 things to accomplish and you only accomplish 6, or 4, right? But you still accomplished.
Sure.
Right. So you can focus on those accomplishments.
Well, but I also like the idea when it says, what are my priorities for today? I'm planning out, okay, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you're stacking the deck in your favor.
Mm-hmm.
You're setting yourself up for more of a success by saying, okay, this is what I got to do. And I'm going to do this first, and then I got to make sure I get this done.
Right.
And then make sure and if I got time, well, let's see about getting this or that. And I don't know that I consciously do this,
mm-hmm.
but there are many times where I'll think, okay, today I got to make sure I get this done.
Right.
And because I will say that I get a lot more stressed and I sleep more poorly when I put things off.
Yeah.
And
for me, I've gone to a system where, Google's awesome, right?
Yeah.
So I've just gone to, Google, because there's email that almost everybody uses. And then there's, Google Tasks, Calendar, and there's all these things, right? And,
mm-hmm.
and it goes to my phone. And, my wife likes a handwritten calendar.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like that's tedious for me. Some people like to write the things down.
Sure.
That's great, right? So, but I put everything in a calendar so that it reminds me, and it's always there. And so if I think of a task I need to do, I put it in the calendar, and I put it in the tasks for Google. And you can actually take that and put it to a time in a day, like when you're going to do it. And so, I've been doing a lot of that, but I put all my tasks in there of various things. I mean, this morning before we came to the studio, I accomplished 3 or 4 of those tasks.
Wow.
Just this morning. Before 9.
That's pretty good.
And so, that feels good. Being able to see, because it, crosses it off, it changes the color of it and does all and you go, oh, I did something. In the past year, I've read several books, right? Like Atomic Habits, Range, The Energy Bus.
Yeah. I read The Energy Bus many years ago.
Those are great books. I'm currently, right now, this morning, I was reading The 5 a.m. Club. All these books talk about the same stuff, right? It's just in different ways, or they have different bents on it. But like in Atomic Habits, they're always talking about being 1% better. The 5 a.m. Club talks about that too, right? Like you want to be 1% better. And if I have 5 tasks and I do 1 today, that's great. If I can do 2 tomorrow, right? Awesome. Right. So it's just getting a little bit better. And I've tried to practice that over the past year.
Okay.
And, I don't have any serious evidence, I suppose, but I feel, and I think that's all that matters, right? How I feel. I feel like I can accomplish so much more in any given day than I could in the previous 20 years before that.
Interesting.
And so my focus on the morning, I think, has changed what I'm able to do and how I look at my day.
Well, one, when you said by 9 o'clock you'd already done, I thought back to that old Army commercial. We do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day. But I think too, as well, when you get, I truly do believe that how you start your day influences how you finish your day. And when you're able to get up and get going and do just 1 or 2 things successfully, well, that helps you out. I mean, you and I've talked about this before about fixing your bed. If you do that one thing, okay, perfect. Now, what else can I do?
Yeah.
And I think that this fits into that as well. What are my priorities? Well, I'm going to get up. I'm going to make my coffee. I'm going to fix my bed. And when I get to work, I'm going to make sure I get this and this done. I mean, even again, you're going to do a lot of other things, sure, but you're prioritizing in your head, which is helping stack the deck for what you're going to do, and you're not caught by surprise as much. And so I agree with you. I totally like this, and I don't know that I've consciously done this, but I think about, okay, what am I doing today? And when I do, I actually I do get more accomplished.
I mean, before I came to the studio today, just to mention, so I did my 3 puzzles, my 3 games that I do every morning. I actually did an hour and a half of reading because I wanted to get a particular chapter read in the 5 a.m. Club, and it was like 35 pages long.
Wow.
And it's, those are meaty books. You're learning stuff while you're doing it. It's not like reading a novel.
Right.
So I did that. So and then, I got up, I did some laundry. I got reviewed my schedule both for the day and the week, and I modified both, and then, determined what things I could do this morning, what things I will do after leaving the studio this afternoon.
Yeah.
Then, went about doing those things for the morning, which was, some work for my teaching job, and reviewing some things for my graduate degree. And then went through, cleaned my porch, right? Cause it's spring.
Yeah. So
cleaned up the porch and got it ready, because this afternoon when I leave here, I want to be able to, pick up some more patio furniture to put out there. So,
okay.
So we can have a nice spring out on our porch. So, I mean, that's like 4 or 5 things, right? Like
sure.
that I was able to do before I left to come here to the studio. So it's just, I always like to say, like, are you going to let your circumstances rule you?
Or are you going to rule
your circumstances? And I think
Uh-huh.
that's a life lesson that I've learned over the last year of, life's happening. And if you look at the world, you're like, this is insane. And I don't even know how I'm going to survive this. And so you can focus on that, or you can focus on the things that are within your control, which begins with when you wake up.
Which ties right into the last one, which is, how am I going to take care of myself today? And I think that that's something that I don't really do. I don't really prioritize or think about what am I going to do for me to make sure that I can be there, not just for myself, but for others.
Well, and I think that some of that is what are you not going to do, right? Because if what you normally do is sit down and scroll on social media, that might be the thing you want to choose not to do.
Well,
right?
True.
Because there's plenty of research that suggests that that's not helping you.
No.
So taking care of yourself, you've got to do something that's positive, right?
Right. Well,
I feel like I have to learn something almost every day.
And, we've talked about this before, but, doing that physical exercise.
Yeah.
I will say that I have been a real sloth, and it's probably been since early November since I got up and I did my morning walk and exercise routine.
Now, I did do 15 push-ups this morning.
Really? That's about 14 and a half more than I can do.
It's a lot more than I thought I could do.
Well, good for you. So, congratulations. I think about it. So, I mean, maybe that counts as physical exercise.
I mean, thinking about it is one step, right? Now you just have to put it into action.
True.
Right.
But I like the idea that, taking care of ourselves, putting a priority of what am I going to do for me? Because a lot of times we do a lot for so many other people in our lives, whether it's our family at home, our coworkers. I mean, it's just amazing how much we give of our day for other people.
Yeah. I think that, the way that I've reordered my life with that morning routine and the way the 5 a.m. club kind of talks about it, getting up early, I mean, I know that Ben Franklin is credited with saying, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise, right?
Yeah.
It was actually Aristotle, I think, that said that.
Oh, really? Okay.
But all those founding fathers actually studied the classics.
So true.
They got all that from there. But so it's an old thing,
mm-hmm.
right? And I find it to be true. I don't, I go to bed somewhere between 9 and 10.
Yeah.
Which to some people is early. So early to bed, right? And then I get up around 4, which a lot of people, and I would have said a year ago too, right? But I started doing it, and once you do it long enough, right, it just becomes automatic.
Yeah.
And now I love it, right? And it's allowed me to do things like read for an hour every day. It's allowed me to get into books a lot more, to the point where I've read, over the last year and however many months we are into this one, something like 55 books, which is a lot more than I've read previously.
Yeah.
And that has allowed me to connect with a lot of other people
mm-hmm.
in ways that I wouldn't have before, because, we've read similar books, or they're asking for recommendations, or
mm-hmm.
they're giving me recommendations. And this includes the students that I spend time with every day.
Okay.
And so because I put these things on my wall in my classroom. So they bring recommendations to me. They've read some of the books that I've read. It's created a whole conversation and relationship with people that I never had.
That's exciting.
And so I think that whatever you do for yourself can actually bleed into that automatically being something that affects other people positively.
Well, and that's, again, when you look at it from that perspective, that point of view, then that makes your relationships with others a little bit better, a little stronger, a little healthier, which then, of course, makes your overall life satisfaction go up.
Mm-hmm.
So, I understand as we, not only are talking about this, but I understand what Dr. Boykin was saying about these 3 fundamental, basic, simple questions to start our day can head us down a path that we can have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a habit that, we can put ourselves into, like you're saying. You beat me up by about an hour. It's usually 5:15 when I get up.
And you just need to find like your time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the 5 a.m. club says get up at 5.
Yeah.
I mean, most people go to work by 8.
I wish.
Getting up at 5, there's 3 hours.
Uh-huh.
Right. So there's still time to get some things done, It's just what works for you. I mean, I started getting up at 4 because my wife likes to get up that early.
Okay.
She goes to work a little earlier than I do. So she wants to have time. So she gets up, I get up.
Yeah.
And so it's just easier for me to do that. And it does afford me a lot of time. But, whatever works for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I think what's interesting is that there's all these books out there that are very popular right now. So it's easy to find what she's saying also in another writer.
Sure.
The research is the same.
Well, and that's what you're right. The kid, our mindset can influence a lot of how we act. And if we can act rather than react, how much that helps. And so anything that we can do to address our moods, anything that we can do to address our feelings, how we're going to feel, can absolutely have then a different and hopefully better impact on, our overall life satisfaction.
I think that, we hear this stuff all of our lives, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you've always heard the phrase, be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
Or, what's that Michael Jackson song, right? Look at the man in the mirror.
Oh, yes.
Right. So it comes down to, what are you doing for you?
Uh-huh.
What are you doing to make you better, to make your life better? And it can't be scrolling on TikTok, right? It can't be scrolling on Facebook. Those things are proven to not make us have positive feelings. So, what is it that you can do? And there's all these books, and they're all available at public libraries, and there's all those things. So, if you think about like implementing a routine, I mean, you just got to start with something. So, find the thing that works for you. The 5 a.m. Club says it takes 66 days. Like, you just have to do something for 66 days. That's not very long. Right?
Yeah, that's 2 full months.
A little over 2 months. If you could just pick something and do it for 60, get up and make your bed.
Yeah.
For 66 days in a row. I guarantee you will make your bed for every day after that.
Yeah.
And then what's the next thing? What's the next thing? And just one minor change at a time. That's kind of what I did over the last year and a half. And I'm telling you, I think it's made a huge difference for me. Now, I don't know. I mean, other people around me could probably say it has or it hasn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know for me, I feel good.
Well,
and I feel like I'm accomplishing things that I couldn't have otherwise done.
And at the end of the day, it's not what other people think. It's about what you think.
Sure.
And if you're feeling happier about your decisions, then that's all that really matters. And, a lot of times people that disagree with you, oh, why are you doing that? I ain't doing that. Well, that's fine. This is what works for me, and this is what makes me happy.
You do you. And my problem was that I did me for a long time. And I realized that me needed to be different.
Yeah.
And I mean, it doesn't mean I changed my personality or anything. I just changed some things that I do to focus on things that I can control. And I feel like I am much happier and much more productive and have a better set of goals for the future that are more realistic to be attained.
And that's really all that matters. And if you're happier with yourself, then it continues in your interpersonal relationships with everybody around you, which then makes you spread that happiness, because happiness, like the negativity, I guess I won't say happiness, but the positivity translates very well just as in negativity. So you're going to be a ray of sunshine rather than a dark cloud with the people that you come in contact with. And as you mentioned a little bit ago, we need more of that, not less of that. So I'm grateful because I benefit from, since you and I hang out a lot, all the time working together, as well as doing this on the side. And it's been fun to watch, and you've been an inspiration. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, your story and experience is equally inspiring. So, we don't want to waste our lives doing nothing.
That is true.
But I think that, if people are out there and thinking, well, how do I get started? I think the key is, you just start.
Yeah.
Right. Like you just get up early and then pick something.
Yeah.
Go for a walk
Mm-hmm.
and during that walk, be thankful. And then work on looking at your day and seeing what it is you're going to do. You can't do everything.
No.
Every day. So you gotta pick.
Well, what am I going to focus on today? What are my top priorities? What are my top 2, 3, 4 things that I need to make sure I do today?
And you want to stretch yourself. So it might be a little bit beyond what you think you can do. But if you have 5 things that you're going to get done today and you get 4 of them done, awesome.
Well, yeah.
You can slip that 5th one to the next day.
There you go.
Not a big deal, right? So,
yes.
Unless it's, filing taxes or something, but
you got, I can't go past April.
Probably
15th.
want to make sure you do, you order them rightly, but, no, you need to do stuff for you, and you need it to be about being, becoming a better person for you.
Amen.
And if you do that, you'll be better for everybody else.
Very true.
Well, that's all I got.
Well, that's all I got too. So I guess then we will continue with our routine of being grateful. And I'll get out and start doing my morning exercise again. So
that's awesome. And I can check another thing off my list because we produced another podcast.
Yay. Well, then, until next time, I'm Rod.
I'm Scott.
Bye.
Bye.